quarter of the fixture's gone, but Rovers tomorrow night is kind of a 6-pointer in a way, isn't it?
3-pointer, Billy. As I keep saying, it's a fantastic match for us. The most important for us was that to get back winning. I said that, I felt that over a couple of weeks, that the confidence of some of the lads had just dropped a bit, and we were creating loads and loads of chances. We hadn't been taking them really, and we need to get back to winning ways. And I was delighted with very nice performance. Obviously, it was the second win in the week after winning the League Cup game, but importantly for the league, it was back getting the win. So look, we all know Rovers, another title contenders, and very, very good side. And I suppose Cork Rovers and Turner's Cross has always a bit of an edge to it. So we have to be on our game, and we have to win tomorrow night.
It's a huge game for them as well, isn't it? Having lost to Dundalk.
It's a huge game for us. I'm not interested about them other than they're title challengers from my point of view. It's a big game for us, and obviously Kenny Brown is out, so we have to make an adjustment. But at the same time, the lads, they started the game very well. They're right at it from the start, and we need to do that.
Any hopes of Owen O'Connell being included?
Owen has a knock, so it's a situation where we're going to wait until tomorrow. So it's touch and go. The young fella himself wants to play, but it's touch and go. But
what's the injury, Johnny?
A groin injury. Yeah. So
be like fitness test tomorrow, somewhere.
Yeah, he just needs rest. So so we just have to take it. He's a great young fella. He's been fantastic for us. So, but look at the same time, we have guys burst into play, and they're all on the edge to play, and they know all the games are coming up. But it's a huge game for us tomorrow night, and we have to be at it from the start.
And there's options there, like you have Michael McSweeney to come in,
yeah.
or Bucks could play centre back.
Bucks could play centre back, or Colin could play. So we have options because Colin played in the League Cup game there. So So look, from that point of view, Bucks obviously has played centre back most of his career at underage and has played with us a few times at centre back. Michael has been there, so we have options. So I think from our own point of view, it's more about ourselves being ready tomorrow night. Right from the start, and we saw on Friday night when we were ready from the start, we give a great performance, and that's what we need.
A clean bill of health otherwise.
Yeah, I don't see a few fellas have a few knocks and that, but look, they're all making themselves available to play, and why wouldn't they? Rovers at home, and the way the team is going at the moment. So they're a great bunch of guys, and as I said, we've assembled a really hard-working, honest bunch of fellas who really want to do it for the club. A lot of new players, when they come in, probably don't understand how big the club is. They look in from the outside, but it's only when they get in they realise and they see the media coverage, the fans, the pressure from around the city. It's only then that they realise, I think, how big it is. From the outside they see it, but they don't understand it. And I think that it probably, was a wake-up to some of them, because they didn't see it that way, or didn't understand it. And certainly the times when the few weeks we weren't getting the results, I think maybe they found that they hadn't come across that type of coverage before. So but it's good for them, it's a good way of learning. But the one thing about them, they're honest, and they all want to do it, and I've no doubt about any of them. So that's why it was important on Friday night to get back to winning ways.
And we need to get everybody out there tomorrow night.
Well, we do, and I keep saying, we have lots and lots of opinion, lots of opinion from people who never come to our matches as well, which is the way it is. But I think from my own point of view, even the other night, the 2,500 that were there, when that bunch of people come to our games, they really get behind the team. And I felt the atmosphere tonight was a very good atmosphere, because sometimes the atmosphere can be flat, and even though we scored the early goals, I think there was a real positivity amongst the crowd that came out, because they know, they can see the potential in the team. They can see the way the team is developing. They can see the chances they're creating in the football we're playing. And I thought there's a real positive feeling amongst the crowd. So, while a lot of people didn't come, and a lot of people just, some people never come to our games, we still have very, very good support at home. And once everyone is pulling in the right direction and getting behind the lads, that's what's most important, and that's what I felt about Friday night. And obviously, hopefully tomorrow night, we would expect more of our supporters to be out tomorrow night.
What have you made of Shamrock Rovers so far this season?
Yeah, they obviously in the off season they changed a bit. In they brought in Killian Brennan from St Pat's. Obviously, they brought in Clark from Limerick, Shaw from Longford. So they've had Mealy, who's playing, and Drennan, who are both in their second full seasons. So a lot of pace and energy in their team. So they started the season very well. Obviously, they were disappointed, I'm sure, at the weekend. But when you're down to 10 men against Dundalk, it's very, very, very difficult. So I'm sure they won't be happy with that. But at the same time, Rovers are still in the top near the top for the last couple of seasons, and they expect to win the league, and their fans expect them to win the league. So they have a team that they feel will. Time will tell, but from my point of view, it's we're at home, and it's a big game for us. And while they're a very good side, we're also a very good side, and I feel that if we play well, we will win the match. And I just feel that we need to get the 3 points.
And the Cork City Shamrock Rovers rivalry has always been fantastic over the years, so not hard to motivate the players tomorrow night. Yeah,
it's different, in the sense that some of the lads haven't played in that game, but it's a real night out for the fans. You know what I mean? That City Rovers historically has always been a massive match, and that's why our fans always look forward to it. I suppose the fact that the last couple of years Dundalk have been in the mix has probably taken over from it, but at the same time, there's always a huge buzz about Rovers coming to town, and because historically they've won the most trophies in Ireland, and we're always seen as the biggest club from a trophy point of view, even though they haven't won as many trophies in the last probably 20 years as they used to. So things have changed a bit, but at the same time their name is still synonymous with in Irish football as being one of the biggest clubs.
John, you probably answered my question just a little while ago. You're just ahead of me. I was at Turner's Cross.
If I'm ahead of you, I'm doing well.
Sidekick. But you come into Turner's Cross for the home matches, and the feel-good factor is there. You come in the gate. There's volunteers on behalf of Forest, and they're selling tickets for various things. The club shop is open. There's a tremendous amount of organising and fantastic activities going on there off the field of play. Volunteers getting involved. The club shop is open. It's there selling merchandise. A real professional look about the club at the moment. It's a good place to be on home match nights. Turner's Cross. I actually sat as a spectator in 4 different occasions last Friday night behind both goals in the Dolly Ford stand, and I was in the family enclosure as well. And that feel-good factor is there, And as you mentioned, all fans have their own opinion. If an attack breaks down, you're getting a little bit of feedback from the crowd. But for what I gathered from listening to the various supporters around the ground, is that they're 100% behind yourself and the team, and they believe that this team is going to get stronger and better as the season goes on. It's a good feeling at Turner's Cross at the moment. Everyone is rowing in together, I feel.
Yeah, which is great to hear, mate, because to be fair, I've always felt, even from the day I was appointed, the support was phenomenal. And you're right in the sense that, look, we're all disappointed on a night when the results don't go our way, but I suppose at the same time, if we roll back to where we've been, that the first 2 years we've been in Europe, we've been second in the table, we've been in the cup final, obviously our expectations have risen, and we want that, because we want to be always at the top competing, and I want that, and the rest of the management and the players do. And sometimes, and that's why I said some of these players maybe haven't understood maybe the criticism that's come their way, didn't see that coming, and whatever. But at the same time, I feel there is a fantastic feeling amongst the supporters, and it's important for our supporters to keep supporting the team keep behind the lads. You know, the last thing we need is, you know, any negative stuff in our ground against our own team, because that just gives the opposition a lift. But that hasn't happened, and I think a lot of it comes from the outside, really. From what I see, and from the people coming to the grounds, you know, there's a real positivity there, and you're right, and I sense that, and that's why, you know, as I said, 2,500 people last Friday night against Finn Hart. I felt they were, or you know, their supporters are out in force, and they know what's going on. They can see the team and the shape the team is going, and there's what we want. And a lot of sometimes the criticism from the outside, sometimes it's coming from people that don't go to our games or may not have Cork City as their grass. So, but look, at our own supporters have been phenomenal, and long may it continue. And once the feel good factor is there, once you're coming out of the ground, Mick, that's the most important thing.
And your theory worked again last night.
What was that?
Your theory that anybody can beat anybody else. Gray went and beat St. Pat's.
Yeah.
Which was unusual, like.
It wasn't, Billy. It wasn't.
You're going to agree, wouldn't it?
It wasn't. Why would you say that, like? Bray are decent. Bray at the seaside are always a difficult side.
I tried to be complimentary.